and welcome to the 2022 Maine Library Legislative Day. I'm Savannah Sessions, school librarian in the Oxford Hills School District and chair of MLA's Legislative Committee. While we unfortunately couldn't gather together in Augusta again this year, we are thrilled to bring you a week's worth of exciting advocacy learning and engagement opportunities from afar. This year, we're keeping it local. Hopefully, throughout the week, you will find something useful for your advocacy efforts at the town, county, or state level. You might even take away a tip that helps you work with your board or governing officials more effectively.
Each day of the week has a theme. We'll kick off our week of programming with Social Media Sunday. We invite you to like and follow the Maine Library Association and the Maine State Library on both Facebook and Twitter. On Monday, we'll follow this theme up by hosting a Lunch and Learn with Ian Ware. Ian is the Communication Associate for ALA's Public Policy and Advocacy Office in Washington, D.C. He'll share some pro tips on communicating local stories to legislators, and you'll leave this session with a toolkit. I had the great pleasure of seeing Ian present in Washington, D.C. with the Policy Corps last December, and he was excellent. So we're really happy to have him on board for this.
On Tuesday and Thursday, choose your own adventure. Take a look at our Padlet for ideas about how you can participate on these days.
On Wednesday, join librarians from around the state for a lunch and learn discussion on library policies and their impact.
On Friday, learn what to do when the media calls and take away some tips for connecting with the local media where you live. They can be great library advocate allies.
Hi, I'm Sonia Journey. I'm the Vice President of the Maine Library Association, and I'm also the Scholarly Communication Research and Teaching Librarian at the University of New England. I'm here to tell you that advocacy is not just for public and school libraries. There's plenty of work for us academic librarians to do also. For instance, there's a ton of legislation involving copyright and open education resources that we can be staying updated on, speaking out on, and sharing with our academic communities. Advocacy is for everyone. I also like to remind everyone that advocacy is a learned skill. A lot of folks think that some folks are just natural born advocates, but that's not true. It takes practice and time. So I'm glad that everyone's here to practice these skills with us this week. I look forward to seeing what we do.
Hi, I'm Amy Stone, Library Director of the Bridgeton Public Library and Vice Chair of the Maine Library Association Legislative Committee. I've either volunteered or worked in a library since I was 12 years old. So for 38 years, I've given my time and talent to libraries, all different kinds. Public libraries are places where everyone is free to learn, think, and speak. And this is what makes libraries the foundation for a great community. There are as many ways to be an advocate as there are to be a librarian, but I think that just by choosing to be a librarian, you're already an advocate. Doing the work is the most important part. Doing it really, really well, that's also really important. I tell anyone who asks that my job is to make sure the library is cared for and loved by as many people as possible. Everything else that I do needs to lead to that. So during this upcoming week, tons of tools, tips, and resources are going to be brought to your attention. Some take a few minutes a day, some take years to really have any impact. It's okay, just start where you are and see what you can do. Remember, you're already an advocate, and anything you can do to build on that is awesome.
Study after study shows that schools with strong library programs have better student outcomes. School librarians support students as they become lifelong learners, develop a love of reading, and hone their 21st century skills like information literacy and digital citizenship. But it's not just how well students do on assessments when they have a library. It's a safe place to explore ideas, connect with a trusted adult, and be in a space at school where they are not evaluated or assessed. Those intangibles are exactly what makes a library so special, but they can also be the most difficult to advocate for. All of us can be library advocates, and many people probably already are, but don't even know it. By participating this week, you'll add more skills to your quiver and leave with a collection of resources to help you be a more effective advocate for your library. Thank you for joining us.
Again, on behalf of the Maine Library Association, Thanks so much for joining us for National Library Week. There's lots we can do this week to advocate and get the word out on the great work libraries in Maine are doing. So glad you've joined us.